Eric, Jason, would one of y'all kind of just speak? Because obviously, joining a graduate program, it's a big commitment. There's no doubt about it. And on top of the commitment with school, there's obviously family commitments. Just life obligations. Can y'all kind of talk through, any strategies or tips that kind of helped you stay on top of your studies while still kind of managing that balance a little bit?
Sure, I'll jump in here if that works for you, Jason.
Yep.
I'd say, yeah, it is a big decision. It's an investment in yourself and time and also money, because it costs the money for the program. And it was something to think about. I think kind of from a personal front, I certainly talked to my partner at the time about getting involved in it and making an investment and what that might mean for how much she saw me around the house between work and homework. And I think that was probably the easiest part, but that's not to say that it wasn't an easy, or it was an easy program. It definitely, I think, takes some planning, some organization. And I think the hybrid aspect of things does provide some flexibility. It's just kind of one broad kind of aspect of the program. But I'd say with that, another big piece of it in kind of planning to apply, setting your time in advance, and also while you're in the program is my employer was very supportive. And so I talk with my boss and those associated with it at the time to kind of let them know that I was doing this, get their buy-in, but also just kind of know that there'd be times when I'd ask them maybe for a little bit more times on projects or something like that. And then I think really the other piece with that was I did have kind of a professional colleague that I spoke to about the program, and he happened to go to the program a year or two before I did and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this and entering the program. What do you think?" And he said, "Absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I've learned a lot. I know you from the work that we've done together and think you'd be a great candidate. And otherwise, certainly, he was kind of a good mentor through the program and otherwise in my career to guide me along and give me some insights in advance. And then once in the program, again, it's kind of hybrid, so it's built for working people. It doesn't make it necessarily easy, but I think a big piece of it is between the individual projects and the group projects in particular. I think there's something I still kind of look for in my professional career, just true kind of open candidness about what your schedule looks like. And in some of the group projects and many of the group projects, we had other stuff going on in our personal life. And we just say to one of our colleagues in the group project, "Hey, I'm not going to get to it now, but I will before it's due." Or, "Hey, can you pick up the slack now? I'll get you back later." And so I think that was really just something that I found we had a good open dialogue about to get the projects done together as a team. And it's something I try to replicate in the real world as well, but was something certainly got to practice at GEM.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Jason, do you have anything else to add?
I guess, yeah, I agree with everything Eric said on, I kind of viewed it as like, the mentality I went into is like, it's my second job. And that's not to scare you, but you view it as like a part-time job, as Eric mentioned, and improving yourself. And then the time commitment can vary week to week. So yeah, it is being flexible. And then, that's part of the benefit of the program is that time management that you get being a professional, having a family, to find the time when you can get things done. So that's kind of like the best way I looked at it. And, I think your weekly, I guess trying to think back, the hour commitment per week, I think could be anywhere from 10 to 20 hours, but it could vary. Eric, I don't know if you agree with kind of that estimate. And then, yeah, it's a lot of this can be group projects. So then you're working with your group members and people pick up the slack when you need them to for the group projects. And then you kind of owe it back to them as well. So I think that's the other way to do it. And utilizing even time zone differences was something that we realized, people could be anywhere in the world and internationally. So you even have to balance maybe time zones, but that's actually a convenience. If someone's in your group, they could be working, overnight, so to speak, and then you pick it up the next day for any of that group collaboration, which is, very applicable to the real world these days, as we know, with, remote and global workforces.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you to both.